Today we are going to see a short story written by famous author or novelist, you can say, short story writer H.H. Munro. Pen name is Saki. Munro had mastered the art of unexpected ending. In Dusk, he uses the same device and holds the reader's interest till the very end. So in this story we can see that till the end of the story you will be in dark, you will be unable to know that what happens at the end, because unexpected ending, you might not have ever thought about that the story will end in such a way. And the main character of the story is Norman Gortsby, the young gentleman, the old gentleman, and a cake of soap, which is the most interesting and the most crucial part of the story. We know dusk, it is the time when of evening and the setting of the sun period. Evening and the setting of the sun time period is known as your dusk. Norman Gortsby sat on a bench in the park with his back to a strip of bush planted sod. Grassy land covered with bushes is known as bush planted sod, fenced by the park railings and the row fronting him across a wide stretch of carriage drive. Hyde Park Corner, with its rattle and hoot of traffic, lay immediately to his right. To his right-hand side, he could hear the honking of the cars, vehicles, and the rattling noise of the traffic. It was some 30 minutes past 6 on an early March evening. It was the month of March and the evening period, and dusk had fallen heavily over the scene. Dusk mitigated means to make something less, by some faint moonlight and many street lamps. There was a wide emptiness over the road and the sidewalks, and yet there were many unconsidered figures, not thought about, unconsidered figures moving silently through the half-lighted or dotted unobtrusively. Unobtrusively means not noticeably. On the bench and chair, scarcely, hardly to be distinguished from the shadowed gloom in which they sat. So here we see some people being unnoticed came and silently sat on the bench of the Hyde Park, and the gloom or the darkness and sadness has gripped their heart and mind, and without drawing the notice of others, they came and sat silently on the bench of the Hyde Park. The scene pleased Gortsby and harmonized with his present. Harmonized means united with his present mood. Dusk to his mind was the hour of the defeated, those who have lost hope, peace, joy, and disheartened, discouraged, defeated, totally upset, they come, and that is the dusk hour or dusk period is being symbolized with hour of the defeated. The wanderers in the dusk did not choose to have strange looks fastened on them. They did not want that people should should look at them fixedly. Therefore they came out and they sat completely aloof from the din and bustle of the city. We see that they came out in this bad fashion, taking their pleasure sadly in a pleasure ground that had emptied of its rightful occupants. Beyond the sheltering screen of bushes and palings, palings means here metal or wooden post, came a realm means area of brilliant lights and noisy rushing traffic was passing through that very closer to the Hyde Park. So Godspey's imagination pictured things as he sat on his bench in the almost deserted walk. He was walking in a very isolated and lonely way. Money troubles did not press on him. He was not worried because he did not have money with him. Had he so wished, he could have strolled into the thoroughfare. Thoroughfare means main road of lights and noise, and taken his place among the jostling. Jostling means to push something roughly. Ranks of those who enjoyed prosperity or struggled for it. Here, Saki wants to tell that Godspey was not let down because of money or financial problem. If it would have been the case, he would have gone to the main road where he could find light and noise, and he would have enjoyed prosperity or struggle for it among the jostling ranks. On the bench by his side sat an elderly gentleman. This is the second character in the story, with a drooping air, sad or depressed. Drooping air means sad or depressed, of defiance. Defiance means open refusal to obey something or somebody. So that type of person was sitting on the bench very close to him. That was probably the remaining vestige of self-respect, only trace of self-respect in an individual who had ceased to defy. To defy means to disobey successfully anybody or anything. His clothes could scarcely be called shabby. It was not dirty or torn. At least they passed muster in the half light. Muster means to walk in a group. Muster in the half light. But one's imagination could not have pictured the wearer embarking on the purchase of half-crown box of chocolates or laying out 9 pence on a carnation buttonhole. Embarking on means to start to do something. On the purchase of half-crown box of chocolates or laying out 9 pence amount on the carnation decorated buttonholes, that is carnation. He belonged unmistakably to that forlorn orchestra to whose piping no one dances. He was one of the world's lamenters who induces. Here lamenters means sorrow or bewail. Who induces, who tries to, no responsive weeping. Nobody tries to be part of that person, that is the gentleman. As he rose to go, Godspey imagined him returning to a home circle where he was snubbed. Snubbed means scolded or insulted by somebody, and of no account, or to some bleak means dark, lodging where his ability to pay a weekly bill was the beginning and end of the interest he inspired. His retreating figure moved back, vanished slowly into the shadow. And what happens, we will see in the next video. Thank you.